Hi everyone, welcome back to a new video and happy Friday. I wanted to talk about a specific topic today that I've been getting some requests from, not necessarily video requests, but just have been getting questions from clients lately. And so I thought I'd make a little video discussing the topic that you probably, when you are someone who is struggling with DPDR right now, it's probably a question that you're asking yourself as well. And so I thought I'd share a little bit of personal story of kind of how I dealt with this topic myself, namely how to deal with social situations, friendships, family, when you are going through depersonalization or derealization. Because as you know, when you are struggling with DPDR, you don't feel connected to people around you sometimes. You don't feel connected to yourself. You don't feel connected to the world around you. And so, because we are social beings and there is social pressure that naturally comes with being a human, we feel a lot of pressure in social circumstances, in social situations to be present, to be normal, to completely show up the way we would usually show up. And so, that can actually make DPDR worse sometimes. At least it did for me in the beginning when I was struggling the most. I know that social situations would really trigger it for me, not just because of the confrontation with the fact that I couldn't recognize people or I couldn't really feel connected to people that I love and were my friends, but also just the pressure of I have to really be fully myself here. I can't let anyone know what I'm going through. I can't be weird, no one can notice this about me. And so that pressure creating more resistance and therefore actually making it a lot worse. So I want to share you guys some tips today based on kind of my own story of how I would deal with social interactions, deal with social situations, and how you can best navigate that when you are going through DPDR. A client of mine that I've been working with for the last couple of months gave this sort of deep personalization feeling with people the term stranger danger, and I thought that was a really good way of putting it. It basically means that whenever you are around people that normally you love or really feel love and affection for, suddenly they can feel like a stranger to you. And I definitely experienced that in the beginning, on and off throughout my journey as well. But again, like with everything in DPDR, the way of dealing with that is to normalize it for yourself, to not be scared of it. Of course, with some connections, that's more difficult than with others. If you are experiencing that with a partner or a child or a parent, that feels a bit more scary than just with a stranger on the street. But so what I would do or how I would navigate social situations would be, I remember this example where I was invited to a friend's barbecue. There was a lot of people there. It was summertime. Everyone was drinking. Everyone was having a good time. And I obviously was feeling very overwhelmed. And this was like the first time where I really remembered thinking, aha, this is the best way that I can deal with situations like this, because it was a group where I felt quite comfortable, but not 100%. There was some people that I didn't know. And I remember sitting at the table and just looking at everyone, starting to feel that feeling of not feeling real, not feeling present. And what I would have done before that moment was really force myself to be present, really force myself to make sure no one sees me. And that would trigger panic. That would trigger me like becoming very hyper aware of what I would say or what I would do. And instead, that moment I decided, you know what? Fuck it. If I am perceived as a weirdo, if people look at me and think like, what the hell is she saying, or she's looking weird, I just say, well, again, okay, like that's just how this night is gonna be. I am not going to put this pressure on me to be this perfect social partner right now, because I'm already going through a lot, and so the last thing I need is for myself to put more pressure on me. So I almost felt like that moment I patted myself on the back and really felt like, you know what, girl, it's okay. If you come across as a weirdo, just be a weirdo. If you come across as not present, if you are looking strange, if you feel really off and everyone's looking like an alien, so be it. If it gets too much, I can always go home. or I can talk to a friend about it. But I remember, like, from experience, when I would talk to people, usually it wouldn't really reassure me because no one would really understand what I was going through. So it would probably trigger just more feelings of alienation or feeling alone in it. And instead, I decided to kind of make it an inside joke with myself, that almost like seeing the humor in the situation of how funny it is that everyone looks so alien to me, which when you're first still in the depths of it, maybe that's not really a perspective that you feel comfortable taking yet, or you feel able to take, and that's normal. When you're still in that complete deep panic, it's difficult to see it as something funny. But in that moment, it was almost like I became my own best friend at the table. And as my own best friend, I decided to just make it an inside joke between me and myself. If I'd have existential questions, I'd kind of pat myself on the back with them and say, yep, this life is very weird and no one at the table is aware of it. And I'm the only one, and I guess you and I are the only ones seeing it. Like, almost talking to myself as my friend at the table, the friend that really understands me, the friend that really is with me in my pain, the friend that can really reassure me because it knows exactly what I'm going through. And that type of self-talk, or I guess creating a really loving connection with myself, was one of those things that just really, really helped me. Because every time I was in a social situation, whether it was with friends, whether it was on the street, whether it was with family, the moment I started panicking, I would have this reassuring internal dialogue between me and myself that was very friendly, very loving, very kind. And I basically became the friend that I needed the most at that time, which maybe sounds weird. And like, it sounds like I'm, when you're saying that you're always talking to yourself, sometimes people think, oh, okay. But for me, it was very relieving. And actually, that's one of the things that I'm still so grateful for the DPDR until today, because I still have that inner dialogue now. Obviously, not when I'm dissociated, because I'm not really dissociated anymore. I don't really feel anxiety or panic that much. But say that I'm going through something, or I'm struggling with feelings of sadness or fear of something or anger, I immediately have that inner support dialogue with myself that makes me never feel alone. And I think that's really what helped me get through social situations with the DPDR, because we are people. We need connection. We need reassurance. We need other people around us. And I think the most frustrating thing is that we really try to find those people to resonate with or to reassure us, like friends, family, but they just don't understand. They can't reassure you like that. And the more you put that pressure on yourself, either that they can't notice that something's wrong, either that they have to understand you, or be on the same wavelength as you, you're just gonna feel more alienated, more excluded, more like something's wrong with you. So try and remember this from this video. If you struggle with social situations, no matter what type of social situations, when going through DPDR, try to create a deep inner friendship and support for yourself, so that you can always turn to that and always feel that love and feel that support. Also, easier said than done sometimes, but really try to care less about what people think of you, especially in this period. You will never go through something this weird, and trust me, the people that stick around, even if you do decide to share something or you're not showing up 100%, the people that are still here, that are in your life, that are gonna stay and not judge you, those are your real people. Those are the friends that you know are gonna be in your life forever. And so try and see it maybe as, okay, the people that you end up having some type of like fallout with, or they may be judging you because you're not 100% yourself, just think that if those people would ever leave you or ever judge you or laugh with you or think you're weird, then those are just not your people. You need people in your life that are super supportive, non-judgmental, and that are just curious to support you even though they don't understand what you're going through. So I'm thinking if there's anything else that I wanted to say, any other advice. Um, yes, one last thing. So, in terms of interpreting the deep disconnection that you feel with people that you're very close to, so close family members, your child, your parent, your sister, your partner, your best friend, just remember that resistance is what triggers the DPDR. And the people you resist the DPDR most with are the people that you love the most because you want to feel most connected to them. So if you are experiencing a lot of depersonalization or derealization around people you really, really love, in a weird way, it is the direct evidence that you love these people the most. Because if you wouldn't care about these people, you would not dissociate. You would just think, all right, or you might dissociate, but you wouldn't be so, you wouldn't notice it so much. It wouldn't be so right in your face. So you would kind of go, all right, well, I don't know you. I don't really have a connection with you, so it doesn't really matter. But the people that you really, really love and you just value connection with so much usually are the people you put more pressure on to feel present. So whenever you do end up feeling really disconnected with these people, try and just think that, okay, this is your brain just really, really, really wanting to connect to this person, and to think more about the intention of love than the actual feeling of disconnection. That's one thing I wanted to add to that as well. So if you want another video on this topic, because this is quite brief and I feel like there's a lot more I could say on this, feel free to send me some questions or stuff in the comments that you'd like me to answer about this. And hopefully this video helps you feel a little bit more just settled on your next family or friends gathering. Also remember, social isolation is not the answer. Please keep seeing the people that you love. Connection is so important, even though you don't always feel it. So yeah, I love you guys. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you in my next video.